Hello everyone! The passing of Lynn Hamilton, the beloved actress best known for her role as Donna Harris on the iconic sitcom Sanford and Son, sent ripples of grief throughout the entertainment world and beyond. Yet, beneath the surface of tributes and fond memories lies a darker, lesser-known side of her final years, one marred by quiet suffering, emotional isolation, and a behind-the-scenes drama that remained shielded from the public eye for decades. As her former co-star and close confidant Demond Wilson finally breaks his long silence, we begin to uncover the hidden truths that surrounded Lynn's later life and her ultimately tragic demise. To many, Lynn Hamilton was the embodiment of poise, grace, and timeless strength. A trailblazer who broke racial barriers in Hollywood during a time when roles for black actresses were sparse and often riddled with stereotypes. But to those closest to her, Lynn bore the heavy weight of fame with quiet humility, even as the spotlight dimmed and the industry that once embraced her seemed to forget her. Her departure from television in the 1980s was sudden and shrouded in mystery. Rumors swirled for years. Some said she walked away from fame to care for her ailing husband, while others whispered about a falling out with producers. But according to Demond Wilson, the truth was far more heartbreaking. In a recent emotional interview, Wilson revealed that Lynn had been deeply hurt by Hollywood's persistent typecasting and systemic neglect. Despite her success on Sanford and Son, she was rarely offered roles that matched her talent or dignity. The industry had used her to project progressiveness, but when the cameras were off, the support dried up. Demond recounted moments on set when Lynn would be visibly frustrated, not with her co-stars, but with the limited scope of her character. "She had so much more to give," Wilson said. But they only wanted her to play the calm, supportive girlfriend. They didn't see the powerhouse she really was. After the show ended, Lynn slipped into what friends describe as a quiet depression. She tried stage work, small guest roles, even teaching, but the magic of the spotlight had faded. Financial struggles followed, made worse by poor management and the lack of residual income many actors from that era faced. In her later years, she moved away from Los Angeles, seeking peace and privacy, but found little of either. What the public didn't know was that Lynn had also been battling a series of health issues that went undiagnosed for years. Chronic fatigue, memory lapses, and physical pain became daily obstacles. According to Demond, Lynn confided in him during one of their last conversations that she believed something was eating away at her from the inside. She had long suspected environmental factors or even old on-set exposures had contributed to her decline. But without a formal diagnosis, she endured silently. Even more haunting is Wilson's claim that Lynn faced betrayal from some of those she once trusted most. He alleges that certain individuals in her inner circle exploited her generosity, draining her finances and isolating her from old friends. In one particularly heartbreaking moment, Wilson shared that Lynn had reached out for help, but was met with silence. Too many people had already moved on or were unwilling to get involved. When Lynn passed, the news barely made a ripple in mainstream media. There was no grand tribute, no network marathon celebrating her legacy. Instead, there was a quiet obituary and a few respectful nods on social media. But for Demond Wilson, that was the final insult. "She gave her life to this industry," he said, voice shaking. "And when she needed them most, they left her behind." Her funeral was a modest affair, attended by a handful of loyal friends, family, and a few former colleagues who still remembered the warmth of her smile and the strength of her character. Wilson, who delivered a moving eulogy, has since committed himself to honoring Lynn's legacy by telling the full story, not the sanitized version that Hollywood prefers, but the raw, painful truth of a woman who rose against the odds and was later discarded by the very machine she helped build. In speaking out, Wilson hopes to spark a broader conversation about how we treat our aging stars, especially black women in the entertainment industry. There are so many Lynns out there, he said. Women who paved the way but are now living in silence, forgotten by the world they helped create. The story of Lynn Hamilton isn't just about loss. It's a cautionary tale about fame's fleeting nature, the perils of systemic neglect, and the importance of honoring our pioneers while they are still here. Her death, while tragic, has reignited a crucial dialogue, one that Demond Wilson insists we must continue. Because in remembering Lynn Hamilton, we aren't just paying tribute to an actress, we're acknowledging a warrior, a trailblazer, and a woman whose light still deserves to shine. Thanks for watching.